It has been quite a busy week in the world of cruising, with some major cruise cancellation and updates about when we might start cruising again. Don't worry if you missed all the headlines, we have you covered. I'm DB from EatSleepCruise.com, and here's a complete rundown of all the major cruise news stories from the past week. On Friday of last week, Cruise Lines International Association, or CLIA, issued a statement that the association's ocean-going cruise line members were voluntarily extending the suspension of cruise operations from U.S. ports until September 15th of 2020. In the statement, the organization cited the ongoing situation within the U.S. related to COVID-19. Given the health crisis, the cruise lines have decided to voluntarily extend the period of suspended passenger cruise operations. Although the current no-sail order issued by the CDC was set to expire on July 24th, the association indicated that it's become clear that more time will be needed to resolve barriers to resume cruising in the United States. The statement went on to add that the association is confident that future cruises will be safe and healthy, and that cruise lines will willingly utilize the latest protective measures, but that the current suspension was to err on the side of caution to help ensure the best interests of passengers as well as crew members. This extended suspension applies to all CLIA members to which the no-sail order applied, which included all vessels with a capacity to carry 250 persons or more. The CLIA announcement came on the heels of Norwegian Cruise Line's announcement regarding its cruise suspension from earlier in the week. Now the cruise line is canceling all cruises fleet-wide through August 31st. In fact, many of Norwegian Cruise Line ships will also be docked for the entire month of September as well, with a few exceptions. What is perhaps the most interesting detail of this announcement is Norwegian Cruise Line's attempt to still have select ships offer Alaska cruises in September of 2020. The cruise line claims it's working closely with its shore partners and local governments in the port towns in Alaska to offer cruises on two of the line's largest ships, Norwegian Bliss and Norwegian Joy. These megaships were scheduled to offer round-trip Alaska cruises from Seattle this year. While many cruise lines have already canceled their entire Alaska cruise season, Norwegian Cruise Line is clinging to the possibility that these two ships will be able to visit popular stops like Juneau, Skagway, and Ketchikan. Of note, Norwegian Bliss October 12th and Norwegian Joys October 4th sailings planned to embark from Vancouver are also canceled. With the cruise line now aiming to resume cruising sometime in October, the announcement further indicated that Canada-New England cruises, a Norwegian Breakaway, and Norwegian Gem would also be canceled. Guests who are impacted by these recent changes will automatically receive 125% future cruise credit for the amount paid as of June 25th. Guests must use the future cruise credit 1 year from issue date for any Norwegian Cruise Line voyage embarking through 2022. Now for cruisers looking for a refund on these newly canceled cruises departing from August 1st through September 30th and the select October dates, they'll need to complete an online form which will go live on July 6th. Carnival Corporation, who operates 9 cruise lines with over 100 total ships, has announced that the company intends to accelerate the removal of 6 ships over the course of the next 3 months. These 6 ships were expected to be sold over the ensuing years, but will now be removed sooner. Carnival Corp has not disclosed which ships will be removed from operation or from which brands. The topic of older ships and their potential fates came up in a recent chat with the founder and CEO of the Points Guy when asked about the line's oldest and largest class of 8 fantasy ships. CEO Arnold Donald was quick to reply that those ships are popular and sell well. Still, during the conversation, Donald admitted that the line is accelerating the retirement of ships, which would imply that perhaps some of the older ships will not be returned to the fleet. Further, he suggested that while some ships were being sold, some might just be scrapped altogether. During the same call, Donald admitted that cruising will start off with less ships, or as he stated, they will be sailing with fewer ships by a lot. Also, the cruise lines will be visiting fewer ports of call. This was due in part to every destination having its own protocols in place and rules regarding travel. Without getting into too much detail, Donald did contend that new ships set to launch soon, including Carnival Mardi Gras and Princess Cruises Enchanted Princess, will likely be delayed. He cited the shut-in orders found throughout the world, which were impacting supply chains as well as construction, as the primary reasons for the delays. The Princess and I will have to wait and see whether this will impact our scheduled Mardi Gras sailing in January of 2021. This past week, Virgin Voyages announced its new health measures to create an even safer sailing experience following the pandemic. The company's new Voyage Well program details health and safety protocols for before, during, and after the cruise that have been developed in conjunction with the help of an expert advisory group. Virgin Voyages is currently offering a flexible cancellation policy called the Smooth Sailing Program. This program has temporarily moved final payments from 120 days to 60 days prior to sailing. It also allows sailors to cancel up to 48 hours prior to sailing and still receive a future voyage credit. Further, these new health measures indicate there will be an in-depth pre-boarding health screening for both crew and sailors, including the use of thermal camera technology to monitor temperatures. Virgin Voyages will have increased sanitation measures in place on board Scarlet Lady as well once she sets sail. This will include implementation of fogging and UV technology. All luggage and cabins will be fogged prior to sailors boarding the ship. There will be increased hand sanitation stations in all public venues, touchless faucets, and the use of hospital-grade disinfectants. All high touch points will also be cleaned with an increased frequency. Scarlet Lady will provide 100% fresh air in all cabins and public venues with the use of its HVAC system already in place. There will also be an air purification system in place that has been shown to kill 99.9% of viruses. To allow for increased passenger space, Virgin Voyages will be limiting guest capacity on Scarlet Lady when she first sets sail. However, the cruise line did not provide an exact percentage. The brand will also implement a virtual queue system for some entertainment, similar to what theme parks like Universal Studios have implemented. Further, there will be seats left between parties at events and vacant tables between guests in dining venues. While the cruise line does not have large dining rooms or a buffet, it will also offer a delivery food service to further limit crowds. The ban, Virgin Voyages' version of wearable technology, also allows for contactless payments throughout the ship. As the first cruise line to officially issue a statement on the need for guests to wear masks, Virgin Voyages stated that they follow the same guidance as recommended on land. So, according to the cruise line, if people are advised to wear a mask on land, they will do so at sea. Crew will be subjected to routine temperature checks and routine COVID-19 testing, as well as requiring the use of proper protection, like masks and gloves. Further, COVID-19 testing and any cold or flu-like symptom health screenings will be free of charge for both crew and sailors at the onboard medical facilities. Scarlet Lady will have increased PPE on board, including ventilators, as well as isolation procedures for any impacted individuals. Virgin Voyages is aiming to set up a post-cruise notification system that will alert passengers if any sailors or crew have become ill within 14 days of departure. Through the use of ethical contact tracing and a health tracking app, sailors can be notified if they have come in contact with anyone who has tested positive for the virus on land or at sea. Also in Virgin Voyages news, Virgin Voyages' second new build, Valiant Lady, was floated out recently at the Vinticeri shipyard in Italy. Valiant Lady is scheduled to sail 7-night Mediterranean itineraries out of Barcelona, Spain, when she debuts in May 2021. The ship will offer 3 itinerary options, all featuring a Friday overnight in Ibiza. Scarlet Lady, the brand new cruise line's first 2,777 guest ship, was originally set to debut early this year, but has now been delayed to October due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Following a meeting last week between the cruise industry and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, or the CDC, the CDC's color-coded system designed to get onboard crew members home is now live. This color-coded system signifies the ship's COVID-19 infection status, with green indicating the ship has no confirmed cases for 28 days. As a prerequisite for requesting commercial travel, cruise lines must have a complete and accurate response plan that provides a safe environment for crew members to disembark during the period of the no-sail order. The ship will not only need to meet the green status, but the CDC must have finished its review of the cruise line's plan, and the cruise line must attest that their no-sail order response plan is complete and accurate. Currently, the CDC has provided feedback regarding all the response plans that have been submitted and is working with the cruise lines to ensure they're implementing the safeguards outlined in their plans. Ships of all cruise lines that have not met the above criteria will be listed as provisionally green or provisionally red. A review of the current listings find most cruise line ships are currently in provisional status, except for Bahamas Paradise Cruise Line's Grand Celebration, which is listed on the CDC website as green. And there you have it. Those are the major cruise news and cruise line updates, but of course, we'd love to hear from you. Let us know which of these cruise news updates you're most excited about in the comment section below. I'm DB from EatSleepCruise.com, and if you enjoyed this video, you know what to do. Make sure to give us a big thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, or you've been watching our videos for a while and haven't done so, what are you waiting for? Make sure to subscribe down below and to click the notification icon. That way you get updated each week when we put out brand new cruise and travel videos. You can also say hi to us all over social media at Eat Sleep Cruise, and thanks again for watching.